Thank you all very much and welcome to Wind Gap, Pennsylvania to the fine Bluegrass Festival here. We've been working here for a couple of years and we always look forward to getting back. It's such a pretty place and this is probably the best crowd I think that they've had here yet, and we're real glad to be a part of that. It's been long about around uptown in Texas, the way out west. Hand out off the friend and the cowboys, I let him down the rail. How beeping bar door is great, to me boys it was sad. Running down beneath that mound, they're the best pal I ever had. Yodelay, yodelay. My best pal was more paint horse and now he's gone to rest. I lead him down beneath that mountain, Texas, Wild West, where the cactus blooms o'er his grave and the coyotes cry. And I know he sleeps in perfect peace beneath the Texas sky. Yodelay, yodelay. Well, dear old pal, break my heart to leave you here alone. Someday I know I'll ride the range and join the Texas home. For my love, you old pal, it's a linger on. And I will always think of you, although you're dead and gone. Yodelay. Thank you.
This is called Kansas City Southern, and you're going to like this one.
When I was just a small boy and even the sun went down, I'd head on up to the railroad track, listening for the sound of that Kansas City Southern. Man, that's a lonesome sound. Well, I'd sit and watch a train go by, and I'd wish I was outward bound. Well, I think about big cities and the pleasures I keep. Go along about 12:30, Lord, the sound wakes my sleep, and it's that Kansas City Southern. Man, that's a lonesome sound. Well, I'd sit and watch a train go by, and I'd wish I was outward bound. Now I've been to a couple places and I've seen a couple things, but every time I see the past, my memory still rings with that Kansas City Southern. Man, that's a lonesome sound. Well, I'd sit and watch a train go by, and I'd wish I was homeward bound. Well, with that Kansas City Southern. Man, that's a lonesome sound. Well, I'd sit and watch a train go by, and I'd wish I was homeward bound. 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
This is called Midnight on the Mandolin, and thanks again, everybody.
I went to bed so sad and blue.
Then I had a dream of you. I dreamed we were strolling in the evening
Underneath the harvest moon,
I was thinking about you. We were strolling in the moonlight
underneath the harvest moon.
There was another was there too. I don't believe you met my baby.
You looked at him, he looked at you.
I wondered who you were talking to. I shook the hand of your stranger.
I was shaking for inside.
I was still wondering who. Your arm was resting on his shoulder.
You smiled at him, he smiled at you.
His eyes were filled with victory. He said,
with ease. I knew that you would marry me. I do. Thank you. Thanks so very much.
Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll stand a raging storm. Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll bear a spirit home. Well, come, brothers and sisters, don't fall asleep. 3 nights a day, all you'll sink in the deep. While there's a flood, raining no matter. Hey, Lord, won't take me in your lifeboat. Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll stand the raging storm. Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll bear my spirit home. The clouds are so heavy, wind is so loud, thunder is rolling, bursting in the clouds. They prayed to their shipmates for what they had done. They took the dying sinners in their lifeboat. Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll stand the raging storm. Take me in your lifeboat, oh, take me in your lifeboat. It'll bear my spirit home.
We'd like to move right along and call on Tom while he's up here and close to the mic to do a little song that we get a lot of requests for. Tom went to a lot of auctions when he was a little kid, and he picked up a lot of the talk, and he usually winds up selling our bus or Harley's Dobro or something on this. How about selling a few things?
I don't know if anybody here has ever been to an auction or not. Harley's been to several of them. Not far from where we grew up, there's a little town called Brookville, Indiana. They have a big sale barn there. If you make a trip down there on a Wednesday morning, you'll usually find an old man standing around, about Harley's age, with a cane in one hand and maybe a shocker in the other. And if you listen real close, you might even hear some sounds coming out of the pens in the background. Say, but I write something to get a little bit of welcoming boys. Coming to get putting them coming out with foreign. 25 out of a bit of 35, I'm 35 and a 40 and a 40 and so. There was a boy from Arkansas who'd never listened to his ma when she told him he ought to go to school. He'd take a walk in the afternoon, and in a while, pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand around so carefully, then in a while he began to say how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, am I to die? I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark and be an auctioneer. 25 out of bid, 30, make a 30, but give me 30, make a 30 bill a moment, he'll give a 30, he'll make a 30 out of bid. 35, but give me 35, but a 35, 40, make a 40, give him 40, bill a 40, he'll give a 40, he'll make a 40 out of bid. 25 out of bid, 30, make a 30, but give me 30, make a 30 bill a moment, he'll give a 30, he'll make a 30 out of bid. 35, but give me 35, but a 35, 40, make a 40, but give him 40, bill a 40, he'll give a 40, he'll make a 40 out of bid. He'd stand around so carefully, then in a while he began to say how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. They said he'd be nobody's fool, they'd send that boy to auction school, he'd come back home full-fledged auctioneer. $25 out of bid, 30, make a 30, but give me 30, make a 30 bill a moment, 30 out of he'll give a 30, he'll make a 30 out of bid. 35, but give me 35, but a 35, 40, make a 40, but give him 40, bill a 40, he'll give him 40, he'll make a 40 out of bid. He'd stand around so carefully, then in a while he began to say how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, am I to die? I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark and be an auctioneer. Say, but right from the get a little bit of welcoming boys. Coming to get from them, coming out with 4. 25 out of bid, but 35, I'm 35 and a 40 little minimum. Sold that hog for a $50 bid. Thank you, lovers of high-class music. Thank you.
Sold it to Tom Taylor, Tom. He bought it.
Just because. 1, 2, 3. Because you think you're so pretty, and just because you think you're so hot, and just because you think you got something that nobody else has got, and just because you spent all my money, you laughed and called me old Santa Claus. Well, I'm telling you, honey, I'm through with you, because, just because. When you'll be lonesome, and there'll come a time when you'll be blue, when old Santa Claus won't be near you to do nice things for you. And then you come to me and be begging, you know I won't be hanging around. Baby, I'm knocking wood, this time I'm through for good, because, just because. because, just because. Thank you.
too long. Want to write these words upon my headstone. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Victor.
Once I had a little sweetheart I loved dearly. We
planned a day that she would be my own. Said, Mother got and stole my darling from me. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. There ain't nobody gonna mock me too long. Want to write these words upon my headstone. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Faithful, kind and true to me, old Grover. You're the only one that's never done me wrong. Sad for me to think your life is over. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Ain't nobody gonna mock me too long. Want to write these words upon my headstone. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Steve-O. Too long. Want to write these words upon my headstone. Ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Well, there ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Ain't nobody gonna mock me too long. Want to write these words upon my headstone. Ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. All right.
Here's a song called Green Pastures.
Troubles and trials often betray us, causing a weary body to stray. But we shall walk beside the still waters with the good shepherd leading the way. Those who have strayed were sought by the Master, he who once gave his life for the sheep. Out on the mountain, still he is searching, bringing them in for heaven to keep. Going up home to live in green pastures, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we shall reach that heavenly shore. We would not heed the voice of a stranger, for he would lead us into despair. Following on with Jesus our Savior, we shall all reach that country so fair. Going up home to live in green pastures, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we shall reach that heavenly shore. When we shall reach that heavenly shore.
Here I am up on the stage, these little ones trying to take my place. All such stuff as this. Lewis is really growing up, and we're really glad to have some of the grandkids coming along in the family. That boy right there, I didn't think there was no hope for him to the last year. Last year about this time, that boy told more stories. That boy told more stories than anybody I ever heard in my life. He'd come home from school and he'd tell Janice and Earl some of the biggest stories. So they didn't know what to do about it. So they went to the preacher and they told the preacher. They said, he's a good boy, but he tells stories. He just makes them up all the time. Preacher said, well, I tell you what, Sunday morning, I'll preach on this about telling these stories, and I'll fix him up. Sure enough, the preacher got up there in the pulpit and he got ready to preach. He told the people, he said, when I came into church, had nobody been here since Wednesday. I cut the light switch on, and it was the biggest, blackest, meanest, big old 8-foot bear standing right in the middle of the room here. And that bear got after me. That bear got after me and he chased me around. Finally, he had me down on the floor. But I tell you what, this little Chihuahua dog came up and grabbed him by the throat and killed that mean bear. He killed him dead. He killed him. He looked at Lewis. He said, do you believe that? Do you believe that, son? He said, yes, I believe it. He said, that was my dog.
Before I sleep, I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. When I need a solid rock, I go to the keeper of the flock. Get on my knees and talk to the shepherd.
I'm just a woman, that's all I am. One of his lambs that sometimes strays, but he still loves me and he forgives me every time I close my eyes to pray. So before I sleep, I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. When I need a solid rock, I go to the keeper of the flock. Get on my knees and talk to the shepherd. Troubled times weigh on my mind, and I can't find one earthly friend. I call the shepherd, he's got an answer to make whatever's wrong all right again.
So before I sleep, I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. When I need a solid rock, I go to the keeper of the flock. Get on my knees and talk to the shepherd.
Fly away to his heavenly fold. But until I go, I'll make sure he knows how I love him for loving me so.
Before I sleep, I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. When I need a solid rock, I go to the keeper of the flock. Get on my knees and talk to the shepherd. Oh yeah, before I sleep, I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. When I need a solid rock, I go to the keeper of the flock. Get on my knees and talk to the shepherd.